lovely to meet you. Are you
Yeah,
excited about the festival?
yeah, I'm really excited. It hasn't really sunk in that it's going to be happening. Like I've never had a festival before, like never performed in one. I mean, I've performed before, but this is just going to be completely different. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's like I've performed at festivals before, but never under my own name, I don't think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Um,
always been like I did like Electric Picnic but as a backing
oh,
vocalist,
cool! Oh my god, that's so exciting! I'm actually going to be working for Electric Picnic in September for like a food truck.
Oh,
So I've
class.
never been to Electric Picnic, so I'm very excited about that. So yeah,
Very good. And oh, you've never been to it at all?
no, never. This is my first year actually going to festivals, but it's funny because
Yeah.
I'm just working with like food, so like, it's great. I just get to go to them all, but I never went to a festival before this year, so
You're
um,
going to have so much fun. It's going to be amazing. Like it's such a cool festival.
yeah, I can imagine. From what people are telling me, it sounds mad, like just the like size of it as well. But yeah, with Slutty Virgin, I saw some pictures from last year, and it looks really kind of like hippie-ish and stuff, which is
Yeah, yeah.
very cool. I'm looking forward to that.
So like I'm calling this series kind of women in music, you know, to tie in with the whole idea of feminism and the Slutty Virgin Festival, kind of reclaiming those words as well. Those words kind of may seem jarring to people. Even to me they seemed a bit jarring when I first saw them at the poster, but I understand also the concept of like kind of reclaiming the words and, you know, changing the meaning of them slightly. So to talk about women in music, what women in music inspire you, or has there been any like female artists currently, even on the Irish scene or internationally, that inspire you or someone you look up to?
There's like so many. I really love Nina Simone and like her songwriting, even though like I know she's singing at a time with like a different experience as a black woman. I still like her words are so like universal. For some of her songs are universal for like a female struggle as well, and like just her talking about like I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I love singing her songs in the shower. I just like they just give me so much. They just make me feel connected, and like they give me like this sense of like power that I love. And then like Erica Badu as well is another one that I just think she's so expressive, and like just love her artistry and like how she presents herself, and like her songwriting as well. Like I just yeah. Who else? And Courtney Love as well is another that I love. She's be a bit different, I suppose. She's a bit more punk and like rock and stuff, which I don't know, I just feel like there's so much anger in her voice, and like in her, like she's just like talking about her frustration, and she's just like letting it all out. And that is really cathartic to me as well, to listen to her songs and just like tap into that anger as well.
Yeah,
um
I love all the same artists actually. I love all those artists. Some of those were some of my early influences as well. And when can you remember like when what the first song you wrote, or like when you first like what inspired you to first start writing?
the first song, I kind of hard to like track back, because I'd write like little snippets, like, you know, I'd just be playing around the guitar or like keys and just like write a few lines and just mess around. But the first song I actually like finished writing was a song that I'm going to be performing at the festival. And it's a song about like an abusive relationship kind of, but being drawn to that as well, that person, and that having it have that hold over me. And it was just like, I don't even like, I was so surprised that I actually could finish writing a song, because I always wanted to write songs, but I was like so surprised. I was like, oh my god, this is actually like all right, and I can show this to my friends and stuff. It was like I just got like a simple chord progression and just messed around. Got my I have a journal, I journal a lot. So I got out a couple pages from that and just started putting a melody to it. And it just kind of formed itself. Do you know what I mean? It
So
was really
you
nice
start
to
did you start
experience.
with the lyrics first or the chords first?
I guess the chords first, but like I would have had the lyrics written down, but very messy, and like over the page I just have like, just a journal and some lines that I liked more. And I would experiment with the chord progression, singing over that, and just seeing kind of what melody would take form.
Cool. So you kind of, I was going to say, you kind of get some ideas from your journaling and then you then form it into like melodies and rhythms when you start putting it over a chord progression.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, and I have like lots of journals. I didn't think I was like much of a writer, but then I just started a few years ago. I started writing like most days, like nearly every day. And just for like kind of self discovery and stuff. And like it's mad. I have like loads of notebooks full now of like just loads of stuff, but I can't even go back. Like I want to go back and like take some song inspiration from like previous journals, but there's just too much stuff there that I think I need to like leave them behind, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I still have all my notebooks from like the time I was in, like definitely around 12 or 13, like in first year in school, like when I first started writing songs. And actually before that it was poetry. I used to write poetry and I still have all my poetry notebooks from when I was a kid, like, primary school. Um, I think you should keep everything, like never throw anything away, because sometimes you might even years later think of an idea and then you might want you might want to go back to the perspective you had at that age, because you might want to write a song about that, about the perspective you had at that age. So it's just it's really cool to hold on to those things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool actually. Yeah, I'm excited now, like 10 years down the line, to just like look back on these ones and just see like even just yeah the difference. I suppose you do like just change as a person, and writing is one of the things that you can use to go back, nostalgia and like see into your mind age. Yeah, it's really interesting actually.
And how is the preparation going for SVF?
I'm really excited about it. We so far haven't really. We've been very busy. So Katie's doing her gigs, and I'm working pretty full on. So it's been hard to find like time to meet up and just run the set list. But like we have worked together a lot through college. We met in college. So like we do have a lot of the groundwork done. So yeah, the preparation could be a little bit better in my opinion, but we are working on it. And
And what's your setup? Is it like acoustic guitar and vocals or
yeah,
keyboard or kind of?
it would be a guitar. I'd love to like later down the line get some keyboard and like other things going on, but at the moment it's just guitar, and we're swapping between. So like I'd be doing harmonies on her ones, she and likewise, and then we just swap the guitar over for depending on which song it is. Um,
Yeah, so for anyone listening, Katie is also a songwriter and performer, and they're kind of sharing the set, but Katie's doing her own songs, and Josie's doing BVs on her songs, and then Josie's doing her own songs, and Katie's doing BVs on her songs. So it's a nice way to do it when you're starting out and you don't have like a whole hour of a set or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I love like harmonizing with people. I love like that, like I don't know, the intimacy of it as well. Like with the festival being quite a small festival, that I can imagine what it'll feel like to just be like connecting to everyone in that way. And I think harmonies, when it's really simple, can just have this real emotional effect. Even though I love a big full band sound, the simple things can just be really nice as well.
Yeah, well, you know what they say? They say, like, if a song sounds good in its simplest form, just like acoustic guitar and vocals or keyboard and vocals, then it's probably a good song.
Yeah, actually, that's a good way to look at it. Well, hopefully they'll be up to that standard. And like, I mean, I like as well that when it is just guitar and vocals, that you can focus, or the lyrics tend to pop out a bit more for me, anyways. I will like with the less instruments, I will be able to just hear the other instruments better, so I can hear the message of the song is.
And so, like, just to like give people an idea of like what is your sound, like so you told us a little bit about your influences. So does that mean you're kind of jazz? Is that your style, or what is your style?
I'd love to say I'm jazz. Like I wish I could be like, yes, I'm a jazz singer. But I don't think I'm quite there yet. But I definitely find like influence from those singers, and jazz soul. I really, really love soul, and but I also love rock as well. And like like I suppose I don't know. I'm still finding where my voice falls in everything. and I think I have a bit more singing to go, and hearing feedback and stuff to really find it. But I definitely gravitate more towards soul influence. Um,
Yeah, it's funny when people ask that question. I know I hate being asked that question. I know I just asked you, but I think it's important for people to know. But it's like really difficult to answer sometimes because we take influences from so many different areas. Like you said, and you said to me in your bio that you're also influenced by like jazz and hip hop, and like they're so completely different. So people are probably like, how does that work
yeah,
live? You know, but I mean that's just the way it is when you're songwriting. You know, you can take an influence from like a hook or a riff or maybe even like the types of sounds that are used in different genres or it could be influenced lyrically or it could be influenced melodically or rhythmically or it
yeah,
could be so many things. So it's I think that's what's so fun about original music is like you just never like I could be influenced by the same music and my music might sound completely different to yours, you know.
yeah,
So I think
yeah,
that's so cool to like discover that about different artists.
yeah. And you kind of like make your own like sound as well. Like, so, 10 years down the line, or I don't know how long down the line, you could be an influence of someone else who will be making their own original sound. So it's kind of like this spiral of, or loop of influence.
Love it.
um,
It's a nice way to look at it. It's like
yeah, a spiral,
constantly
yeah.
moving and we're all intertwined in some way and connected and inspiring each other and lifting each other up, and that's kind of what SVF is all about, really just lifting each other up as females and yeah, helping each other on our journeys.
Like in that way as well, like I'd feel influence from fellow like Cork artists as well. Like I know Katie, who I'll be working with for the festival as well. Like I love her songwriting, and I feel like really excited to just be like featuring in like the songs that I really love from them. And then like Rita as well, who's like opening, I think. Like I love hearing her songs. Like Garen as well in School of Music. Like just all these like artists that are actually like in Cork. You know what I mean? It's really cool to just see that emergence of like emerging
Emerging
of
artists. Oh no, merging of
yeah,
artists, is that what you mean? Yeah.
yeah, it's really cool, like just people who are like, I mean, like even if they're not young, like, but like people who are young enough and like going in and like trying to like create, and and who are spreading their message or their artistry or whatever, like it's just really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's there's a really like diverse range of artists with different types of experience performing as well. Like you have people who are only just starting out, like yourself, or you have, you know, say like Rita, who has been doing it a couple of years now, I'd say, but she's been gigging a lot around Cork City and that, you know, and then you have people who've like released albums and like, you know, have been doing it for years as well. So it's like a really like widespread of different kind of levels and experiences, which I think is really cool too.
they tend to be like your friends are like creating music, and it's really cool because you get to like be supporting like your friends in what they're doing as well. It just makes it better, I think. Like
Do you have many people coming out to see you perform?
so well, like at the moment I haven't have I done any. I did like one gig outside of college. So all my gigs have been through college. Like I went to CSN, and I finished the second year there this year. And like this year, the second year of the course was the first year that we were doing like actual like live gigs, because COVID was the year before. So like we didn't actually get to even start performing live in the first year, like a whole year class performances, which we were lucky enough to get, and like a live perform recording at the end of the year that was like edited, which was really cool to experience, but it wasn't the same as this year. Has just been completely different, like going out and actually going to a venue and having an audience. um but I suppose, yeah, through that it would be like mostly like just friends and family, and like I suppose with this SVF it'll be, I think it's my mom and her bestie are going, and I'm really excited about them coming to see me. But it's not like loads of people that I know. coming out to see it, just because it's Cork, so a lot of people don't have cars and stuff.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. Like maybe it might be worth like organizing a minibus, and everyone just pay for the minibus together. Like could be like I don't know how much the ticket would be, and just get a minibus people who want to go out from Cork City to head out, because there are lots of young people who don't drive yet,
Yeah,
who want to go, but Miriam was also saying there is like buses that go out that way, and she said she was going to organize a carpool system as well. So
oh,
I don't know
unreal.
if you heard that, but that might be worth following up on because
Totally, yeah,
yeah, I had forgotten about that until I just started talking about the minibus. But yeah,
yeah.
she did say carpooling system, and there are buses going out in that direction as well. So yeah, definitely worth looking into.
That would be really handy. Yeah, absolutely. I might have more of my friends coming along, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like the minibus idea as well. Yeah, I feel like Ireland's very bad with the public transport, like, but yeah,
Yeah,
sure. Look. Um,
definitely. Well, listen, is there anything else that you want to like talk about or bring up before we wrap it up today?
just going back on like a question you asked earlier, about like being a woman in the industry and stuff, and I mean, I wouldn't go into like personal experiences because they're a bit too recent, and I like feel like Cork is small, so like I won't like go into that. But I do feel like there was this like infographic thing that I saw, and it was just really interesting. That like I wish I had the actual statistic, but it was just like a visual representation of music festivals and how many women are performing in these festivals. It's I don't like quote me, but about 20% I think are like female or female involved bands, and like I was just so shocked at that. I wish I don't know if I could even say that as like if it's not backed up with like a statistic, whatever. But I remember seeing that, and I was like, I was just so like saddened by it because like it's obvious that like there's plenty of female artists, so it was just like a funny one to kind of look at. But I was really happy to hear about this festival, and I think it's such a cool idea, and I don't think there's enough of these kinds of festivals around, so I think it's great like that it's being like pioneered, I guess. And yeah, I just think it's a great thing for Irish music, and I hope it goes further. I hope like there's many more years to come of it. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Well, listen, thank you so much for your time, and it was so nice to have a bit of a chat and like get to know kind of what you're all about. And just for anyone who's listening in, I'm going to also have a chat to Katie, and I'm going to be chatting to her like in a second when you listen to it, just so you can kind of meet the two of them and see their little chemistry together because they'll be performing together as well. But yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you so much anyways. It was a great experience. I haven't been like interviewed before, so that's a great
It's always a
experience
first
to have.
time, so